keeping the New Year's resolution hydration game going. What's up, guys? It's Carl here, back with the episode that I think most of you are stoked to see. This is my 2020 iPad Pro unboxing, and this is week number 2 for isolation for me, a lot of people here in Canada, and everyone watching around the world. I know that we're all going through the same thing, so I want to wish you all to stay safe, stay positive. I know that we can get through this, and hopefully this video brings you a tad bit of happiness and maybe not so happy times. Let's get to our unboxing. So here is the new box art for the 2nd gen iPad Pro. You can see that I've got the 1TB model. It says 2nd gen Wi-Fi plus cellular. No knife this time, we just have the good old pull tab. There's a lot of orange in here. I will say that's orange for all you yellow fans. That's actually orange. So the iPad Pro comes out of the box, and I am so surprised they didn't have the camera on the actual box art. I thought that would be the main selling feature, but designed by California in Apple up top. So user manuals, warranty info, we have white Apple stickers, USB-C charging brick, and of course USB to USB charging cable. One day iPhones will make that same transition. It's only time, and you can see the cutout for that dual camera matches. That makes a ton of sense. Everyone's favorite part. So here is the 2020 iPad Pro out of the box, and at first glance from the front it looks almost identical. We still have the two sizes, 11 inches and 12.9 inches, and that comes in at $799 and $999 respectively. Same thickness, same form factor, volume rockers on the sides, on and off button up top, but when you flip it around to the back, that's where you're gonna notice the big change. We of course have the brand new dual system camera. It's also slightly different from my iPhone 11's camera, which has 2 sensors. The iPhone has 2 dual 12 megapixel cameras, whereas on the iPad Pro, we have the 12 megapixel wide and the 10 megapixel ultra wide. It also has the new LiDAR sensor, which is great for mapping out your environment. And I really think iPads are awesome for AR content. So when you do use the iPad to scan around you, it will help determine distances and really map out in way more detail than say the previous gen. You can further see that I've got my cellular model, so the antenna bands are running up top, and you can get the iPad Pro 2 colors this time, space gray as well as silver. Spec-wise, we've still got the great 120Hz refresh rate display. I can only see that coming to the iPhone 12 and next gen models later on this year. And almost highlights how dated the iPhone is now. I just cannot wait for that upgrade coming later on. We also get a bump up in the silicone, but it hasn't made the full jump to the A13 Bionic, which we see in the iPhone 11/11 Pro. It's now got the A12Z Bionic chip, which now has 8 cores of graphics performance. And when you think about the use of an iPad, I think graphics is the key thing. Whether that is graphic intensive games, a lot of 3D manipulations, drawings on the iPad, that all focuses on graphics. So that's what Apple is kind of focusing on, their performance end for the new iPad. But the thing that Apple pushed most was the new connection to their new Magic Keyboard. Unfortunately, that does drop in May, so you do have to wait a bit on that end. We do have a couple of those accessories which we can thankfully pair that to. We've got the new smartboard key folio. You can see the camera cutout now matches. It's also compatible for previous gen iPads. You'll just have a larger cutout. Keyboard experience is still the same. It's nowhere near as good as typing on a dedicated laptop or even a desktop. It's still something that I can't get used to, and I don't think I can make a full review of this device until that Magic Keyboard does get released. We've got the 2nd gen Apple Pencil, so still the same, snaps to the top to charge. Easily still the best stylus and tablet combo on the market. But the thing that I've been most stoked to test is how it now pairs to either a Magic Trackpad or even a Magic Mouse. Can pair this easily via Bluetooth. That is different, and that's dope. So I think this really now bridges the gap between an iPad and a laptop. We finally have some sort of mouse input. And as you would expect from Apple, everything is super simple and intuitive to use. It's essentially using a mouse on a larger tablet. It snaps to each of the icons so you know what you have selected. There is tactile feedback on the trackpad so you know when you are pressing. There are a ton of gestures built in to the trackpad, so it's the same as you were using your hand on the iPad. Now you just won't get your iPad super fingerprinty. You can keep your screen nice and clean. So you've got one finger to scroll around, two fingers to swipe to each page. Swiping up with four fingers will close the app. Swiping across with four fingers is multitasking, so switching between your previous apps. And pinching with four fingers will bring up all the apps that you've previously had opened, and you can scroll between those and select which one you then want to open. You've still got the same pinch to zoom and the two fingers to rotate what you're looking at. And I'm sure as the iPad Pro continues to evolve, we'll get multi-level support. So if you're using, say, the Apple Pencil, maybe a developer will make something to incorporate with the trackpad. So I think that's super dope. There's a lot of potential now. But yeah, that has kind of been my unboxing, setup, and first impressions of the brand new iPad Pro in 2020. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Is the bridge kind of closing between an iPad and, say, a standalone tablet? Even though this starts at $799, when you add all of the accessories, the Apple Pencil, say a trackpad, or even that new keyboard, which I think is around $300, that will now cost more than the baseline MacBook Air. So which device would you kind of rather have? I'll be working on my full review, so stay posted later on in this week. And if there are any other videos you want to see of Apple's latest droppings, let me know down below in the comments. I hope you're all staying safe and isolated, and I'm really trying to crank out the content because I know we're all at home, a bit bored, so I hope this video put a tad bit of a smile on your face, and hope to catch you in one of my next episodes or vlogs. Peace.